embarrassing loss yesterday. They bounced back and gave a beatdown to Oakland, 10-1. Technically, Oakland had scored first, but then the Cubs actually went on a roll and didn't look back. Baez had singled to right field in the fourth inning and tied the game. And then Happ hit a grand slam for the Cubs to put them up 5-1. And then Baez singled to right center in the fifth to make it 6-1. And then Schwarber hit a 3-run homer. And then Carantini hit a home run in the eighth inning to make it 10-1. And then that was the final score. And Jose Quintana started the game for the Cubs. With this win, it's his 10th of the year. Homer Bailey started for Oakland, and with this loss that he desperately needed, it's his 8th. Now the Cubs have a 4-game series against Cincinnati, I think, starting tomorrow, and the Cubs, I know they've played better at home, but they played very shitty on the road. So that's just something they're going to have to actually try to do too. They're going to have to try to play good on the road if they want to go somewhere. Homer Bailey didn't strike out anybody. He only lasted 4 innings, and he was responsible for 7 of the 10 runs given up. Trevino would eventually take over. He didn't strike out anybody. The only person to strike out anybody was Buchter, who struck out 2. That was for Oakland anyway. Carantini, with his home run, it was his 6th of the year. With Schwarber's home run, it was his 26th of the year, and with Happ's home run, it was the 2nd of the season. Baez got 2 RBIs, his 77th and 78th. Carantini with his 22nd RBI. With Schwarber's 3-run homer, that gives him 60 RBIs in the year. And with Happ's grand slam, that gives him 6 RBIs. Jose Quintana struck out 7. David Phelps, who's a newly acquired pitcher, didn't strike out anybody. And Pedro Strop, who was just activated from the injured list, struck out 1. And then also in news for baseball, Jonathan Lucroy, who was playing for the Angels earlier this season, was released. And he just signed a contract with the Cubs today, so the Cubs are going to use him as a backup catcher. And usually Schwarber doesn't catch anymore, but with that intentional blowout loss that the Cubs had yesterday, and Lester, who should have gotten the win yesterday, chose not to get the win, but they kept bouncing around different position players, trying to find out what works best. And they used and Schwarber, who usually plays left field, actually caught the game yesterday, at least for a few innings anyway. And then Carantini, who was catching earlier, had moved over to first. And Taylor Davis, who usually is the Cubs' backup catcher, and he's been bouncing between majors, minors, actually pitched in the game yesterday. So they kept moving everybody around.